So as the special representative, my role is to engage in good offices on behalf of the Secretary General, to work with countries to build their capacities, to prevent outbreak of conflict, and specifically to implement the UN integrated strategy in the Sahel, which is consisting of 3 dimensions: governance, economic development, and resilience building, and at the same time ensuring that the security concerns of the Sahel countries are also met. I also have a responsibility to work with the Nigerian government in dealing with the Boko Haram threat in the northeast of Nigeria in particular. So in that regard, I work very closely both with the federal authorities, but also with the state authorities, with the entire UN system in Nigeria, to focus our activities at meeting the challenges posed by the Boko Haram insurgency in northeast of Nigeria.
I see. And so the sub-region is key as far as elections is concerned. And the UN is particular about it because of the need to ensure a peaceful environment. How do you assess elections in the sub-region, particularly when Ghana goes to the polls on December 7th?
Well, you know, in the context of Africa, West Africa has really done extremely well in the last 2 years. Compared, say, to Central Africa, where we have seen some very difficult elections, contested elections, outbreak of violence. In West Africa in the last 2 years, there have been 8 successful elections. And what is significant is that the previous elections in many of these countries were highly contested, leading to violence. In Nigeria, elections before last year's produced post-election violence of more than 1,000 people dead. In Cote d'Ivoire, post-election violence led to 3,000 people dead. And this time around, we have seen that in all 8 countries, there has been an improvement in the conduct of the elections compared to previous elections, which leads us to conclude that West Africa is consolidated on the path of democratic governance, and that's why we want to see a similar success in Ghana, which in the past has performed rather well as far as election management has been concerned.
You may have the uncomfortable duty of having to come back to your country if the elections does not go well. And so perhaps your interest is to tell the 26 million Ghanaians what's on your mind as far as a credible, free, fair, and peaceful elections is concerned. I give you the platform to do that.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to deliver a special message to my fellow Ghanaians. It is exactly 5 weeks when Ghana will be holding a general election. A president will be elected, and members of parliament will be chosen. The stakes are high, and the outcomes could be close. Very much to her credit, Ghana has a proven democratic track record, built on strong institutions, a respected judiciary, a vibrant civil society, a free media, and a respect for human rights and the rule of law. Since the return of multi-party democracy, 6 peaceful general elections have been held successfully. That is why the eyes of the world are on Ghana. Ghana has proven that it is capable to ensure that the solid foundation that is there will once again deliver exemplary elections that are participative, peaceful, and credible. This can only happen if the key stakeholders in this electoral process fulfill their respective roles with a high sense of responsibility, putting the supreme interest of Ghana above all other considerations. The institutions of state, in particular, the judiciary, the Electoral Commission, and the security agencies deserve the support and confidence of the people in discharging their onerous responsibilities. We're now in the last mile of the electoral process, and time is of the essence. We hope that the judiciary would adjudicate expeditiously the election-related cases before it. The Electoral Commission, which has been working under tremendous pressure, has continued to expand consultations and communication with political parties to ensure an open and transparent process. We are impressed with the logistical and technical preparedness of the Commission to conduct the elections. It is critical that it maintains its vigilance and impartiality right to the end of the process. The security forces have the extremely delicate task through this process and beyond to protect lives and property, to ensure the safety of the elections management bodies, voters, candidates, political parties, and their facilities. The people of Ghana expect them to discharge these noble responsibilities in a diligent, professional, and strictly apolitical manner. Civil society has been in the front line of actors promoting peace and advocating for a credible and transparent process. We encourage civil society organizations, religious and traditional leaders, women and youth organizations, as well as other stakeholders, to scale up their oversight role, especially during voting and the collation of votes. The media, party leaders, and activists bear a huge duty in the maintenance of peace. With the enormous power of modern communication tools, the responsibilities on the shoulders of the media are enormous. In this regard, let us remember that words are a sword when uttered carelessly. They injure, they maim, they wound, and they can kill. They may instill hatred and violence. We call on candidates and party activists to engage in a campaign of ideas rather than one of insults, and the media to abstain from hate speech and reportage likely to instill violence, so that Ghana could maintain its reputation for respecting the rule of law. The promotion of peace is the first goal enshrined in the United Nations Charter and remains our main objective. Indeed, a person's right to peace was endorsed by the UN General Assembly in its Resolution 39/11 of 12 November 1984. It is in light of this that we fully endorse the National Peace Council's initiative to convene a signing ceremony for the conduct of peaceful elections under the theme, Strengthening Ghana's Democratic Stability, Peace and Unity. The UN, the ECOWAS, the AU, and the wider international community will continue to support Ghana's efforts to consolidate democratic governance. All now depends on the conduct of the 7 December elections, in which Ghana should come out as the real winner. The people of Ghana cannot let down Africa and the world.
Dr. IBN Chambas, I'm grateful for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
He's a special representative of the UN Secretary General, and he heads the office in West Africa.